Alright everyone, so in this video I want to define a gust. So a gust is going to be a burst of wind that moves the leaves once. So let's begin by picking an event. And for the time being, just while I'm developing it, I'm going to just have it happen when I press a certain key. So let's make it G for gust, and create my block, make a block, gust, and then whenever I press G, we get a gust. Now later, I'm going to break these up, I'm going to throw this away, and I'm going to replace it with something that the game manages, but for now, I want to control with my finger whether or not we have a gust. So, what is a gust? A gust is something that moves the leaves. We'll define a gust principally by a movement. So it's going to move 10 steps. It's going to move some number of steps. We'll figure out how many, but we'll just leave it as 10 for now. So it's going to move some steps. It's going to change its X by 10, and it's going to turn some number of degrees. Now, what are all these? What do all these mean? The move 10 steps is going to move it in whatever direction it's facing. So it's facing up, it's going to move 10 up. If it's facing left, it's going to move 10 to the left. But this change X will always move it to the right no matter which direction it's facing. So it's always going to go somewhat to the right. And this is going to turn at 15 degrees. So let's just play around with that and see what happens. So we've got some leaves. Let's wait until they appear. And now I'm pressing G. And they all kind of moved a little bit. And you can see that they're all kind of turning a little bit. So if I keep pressing it, you kind of... This is just me repeating pressing. You can see what the wind effect is going to look like, because they all kind of swoop up into the air and they turn around. Okay, so now, instead of me just pressing G over and over and over again, what we can do instead is we can stick in a repeat loop. Let's just leave it at 10 for now. So it repeats 10 times, then it does this. If I create some new leaves and I press G, you get some portion of a movement. Now you can also see that if I press G, which I'm doing now, they just stop wherever they stop, like partway through the turn. So they just stop mid-air in this case. And what we want to do is we want to make them land gently after the gust has picked them up in the air. So we're going to make a block, call it apply gravity, and then control if. So the real question is, am I above the ground? Am I up in the air? Well, I'm up in the air if my Y position, that's my position up, down, is greater than my ground position, which we defined earlier. So if my Y position is greater than my ground, if I'm above the ground, then I'm going to change my Y position by, I don't know, -1. And I'm also going to change my X position. Instead of just kind of falling straight down, I'm going to have them fall over to the side as if they're on a cushion of air. Should we make that -3? I'm going to play around with the numbers. Okay, I just did a little play around. I think these are actually better if they're swapped. So it's going to fall quite a bit, but drift only a little bit. So this is going to apply gravity, and what we need it to do is we need it to keep repeating this until it hits the ground. So create a block, call it fall gently, and then repeat until it's not the case that Y position is greater than my ground, and then just apply gravity. So it's going to keep repeating that little fall motion over and over and over again until the condition no longer applies, until it's no longer above the ground. The Y position is not higher than the ground position. Now let's not forget to call this function. So fall gently will happen after the gust. So let's see if that works. Okay, I'm going to press G now. Okay, they went down, which is odd. Went up. So let's stop them going down. The problem is on the gust, they're always moving to the right, but they're not always necessarily going to move up. So what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to put in a change Y by 10. Let's see if that fixes it. There we go. Now, at the moment, they're all moving in perfect synchrony, like synchronized swimmers, and we want something more chaotic, but we're going to introduce that in the next video. For now, we've got our gust, and I'll see you then. Thank you for listening, and if you find this video useful, please hit like and subscribe.